Many people falsely assume that spinning reels are only used by anglers who lack the know-how to cast a baitcaster. However, the experienced anglers not only know what lure to throw but also the most effective rod and reel combo for that lure. I've spent plenty of time on the water with both of these reels, and the truth is, anyone could use a baitcaster, and spinning reels aren't just for beginners. In this guide, I'm breaking down the finer details to help you understand the baitcaster vs spinning reel debate. A basic rule of thumb for deciding when to use a baitcaster is the heavier the tackle, the more likely a baitcaster will be what you need to use. This is why you see so many saltwater fishermen use baitcaster reels. They need heavier lines and heavier lures, and a baitcaster can handle the heavy tackle and larger fish much more easily than a spinning reel. Another instance when you should use a baitcaster instead of a spinning reel is when casting distance matters. A spinning reel will not cast as far as a baitcasting reel will. Many bass fishing techniques require long casts, so many professional bass fishermen can be seen with a baitcaster in their hands. Lastly, a baitcaster should be used when pinpoint accuracy is needed to catch fish. This is another reason why bass fishermen often prefer a baitcaster to a spinning reel. Baitcasting rods and reels are much more accurate than spinning rods and reels, so when you need to place your lure in the perfect spot, use a baitcaster. A spinning reel should be used when you are planning to use light tackle. Crappie fishing requires ultra-light tackle. The heaviest line I use for crappie fishing is a 6-pound test fishing line. Crappie jigs are lightweight. If I tried using a baitcaster with this lightweight fishing gear, it would end in a bird's nest tangled in the spool. Spinning reels shine when lighter lines and lighter lures are needed. I mentioned earlier that most bass anglers prefer to use a baitcaster most of the time. There are a few instances when a spinning reel will be in their hands in place of a baitcaster. One such instance is when they are finesse fishing. As I mentioned earlier, that spinning reels shine when the lightweight tackle is needed and finesse fishing requires the right line. Choosing the right lure can be the difference between getting bite after bite or not getting a bite at all. Choosing the correct rod and reel can be the difference between getting the fish into your hands or telling another story about the one that got away. So what lure should you use with a spinning reel? Truthfully, any lure can be used with a spinning reel. That does not mean certain lures will be as effective with a spinning reel as they will be with a baitcaster. Different types of fishing will require different fishing reels. I will use a spinning rod and reel when I'm using a light line and lead bait. Freshwater species such as crappie and trout require light lines, and small light lures such as super duper spoons, small mets, or small rooster tails. This makes a spinning rod and reel my top choice when pursuing these species. Live bait such as minnows is often used to catch crappie on a spinning reel. When bass fishing, finesse tactics using soft plastics are often most effective with spinning tackle. Similar to the spinning reel, most lures can be thrown using a casting reel. However, certain lures stand out when using a baitcaster and other lures do not. Crankbaits and topwater lures are some that stand out when using a baitcaster. They often require long, accurate casts, and this is where a casting rod and reel shines. Spinnerbaits, vibrating jigs, Texas rigged soft plastics, and Carolina rigged soft plastics are several other lures that most anglers throw using a baitcaster. As I mentioned earlier, a spinning reel is great for beginners as well as more experienced anglers. A baitcaster requires the angler to develop a new skill. That skill is well worth taking the time to develop. I tend to favor a baitcaster, specifically when targeting bass. However, I have caught countless fish on a spinning reel. Whether I'm fishing from a boat, my kayak, or the bank does not determine which rod and reel combo I choose. The factors that most affect my decision are the fishing technique, weight of the fishing line and lure, and necessity of casting accuracy distance. Trolling is one of my favorite ways to catch a variety of fish. I have caught catfish, walleye, northern pike, white bass, largemouth, and smallmouth while trolling. A spinning reel has caught most of those fish, but now I prefer to use a baitcaster. The main reason I want a baitcaster in my hands while trolling is due to comfort. In my opinion, holding a baitcaster is far more comfortable than holding a spinning reel for an extended time, especially with the resistance from the lure you feel while trolling. I also like the higher gear ratio that baitcasting reels offer, so you can get the fish to the boat as quickly as possible. I can't begin to count the times I've allowed slack in the line while stopping the boat after a bite and the fish gets off. Having a higher gear ratio helps to lessen this problem. The truth is, you can catch fish with both types of reels. When we compare baitcaster vs spinning reels, they are clearly two very different ways to fish, but one is not better than the other. I do believe if one is going to be a serious angler, both reels should be used depending on the fishing technique. For beginners, start with a spinning reel. Once it has become second nature to properly use, then develop the skill with a baitcaster. This will allow you to have that many more options when fishing, and we all need more options to catch more fish. You should now know when to use a baitcaster vs a spinning reel. Get to the water and catch more fish. Thank you for watching.